This is Python's Paradise. This is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena, straight out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. And folks, here we are, August the 15th, 2022, and I would have been 10 years old when a particular album came out, and boy, does it bring back memories. Nostalgia is a great thing. It's why I loved Rock of Ages, the movie. It's why I loved Everybody Wants Some. Nostalgia and music does it. And I remember when I was young, there was a compilation album come out called Electric North. And boy, do I remember it well. And I remember having Carl Dixon on from
Coney Hatch.
Coney Hatch, and he remembered that album. And well, my guest today had a song on that album as well. We are talking about the vocalist from Headpins, folks.
Former vocalist from Headpins.
Yeah, but you know what? You're all around vocalists everywhere as far as I'm concerned. Folks, I give you the lovely and absolutely beautiful, for what I could see, gorgeous Darby Mills. How do you do, Darby?
I'm doing good. How about you, you crazy guy, you?
Yeah, just got done at a hospital. I was in a lockdown unit doing COVID clean, which I had to gown up, mask up, in every room I went in to clean, which is always a pain in the neck.
Wow.
But I am looking forward to going to Toronto twice this October for vacation time. So, and I love Toronto. I love Toronto. And I've lived here. I'm 50 now, and I lived here my whole life. Never left the province until 2017, when I was invited to assist an actress at a horror film convention. And first time I ever flown. Loved it, and loved Toronto. Toronto's certainly different from Fredericton, New Brunswick, I'll tell you that. I got up and looked at those tall buildings and I'm not in Kansas anymore. But nonetheless, before we get into Headpins and your solo career, I would like to get a little bit of your background. I was reading up on you, and it's like interesting. You were a figure skater as well, huh?
I was, yeah. I spent all my school years as a figure skater, definitely. A lot of hours at the rink. Yeah.
You still do it now?
No, I do not.
Let
No, I
me
don't.
let me
No.
guess. You're afraid of Tanya Harding, aren't you?
No, I'm afraid of breaking bones if I fall. I'm considerably older than I was when I did that full time, and you break bones when you do stuff like that.
Well,
For
you're
sure.
what? You're what? 39? Yeah, well, you're 39.
Mhm.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
gonna say. I'm gonna go with that.
yeah.
But were you always drawn to music, like growing up? Is that what you always wanted to do?
I always thought I was going to be an actor. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was a wonderful singer, and he kind of introduced the drug applause to me as a very young child, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, then and have pursued that applause for the past lot of years.
Do you remember the first time you ever performed in front of people? And I'll add to that, were you nervous?
I've told this story so many times.
Okay.
I feel a little ignorant telling it again, but I will. How's that? So,
Uh-huh.
high school, grade 10. Some buddies of mine put a band together, and I'd gone over to their place for to listen to a rehearsal. And the drummer, a male, was singing "Crazy on You" by heart. So this was in 84, 83. Anyway, a long time ago. Oh, 70, no, so I graduated in 78. So this was 74. You weren't even here yet.
Yes, I
Anyway,
was.
okay, all right.
72 for me.
72. You're 72 years old? No,
No,
72.
I was born in 72.
72. Okay. Well, so you were 3, 4 years old when I did my first show, and it was with high school buddy. I sang "Crazy on You" by heart,
Mm-hmm.
and we drove up to this little town in the middle of nowhere called 100 Mile House. Played at a high school dance, and I did the one song, and that was it. I was hook, line, and sinker. Yeah.
That is awesome. I gotta say, I haven't like I never read up on your other interviews or anything, so I actually had never heard that story before. So you're not necessarily plain ignorant about it with me, but nonetheless, I love your voice. I gotta say, I was actually listening to some of your tunes there last night, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is taking me way back," you know? Like, especially with turn it on or
Turn it
turn it
loud.
loud, excuse me,
Yeah.
turn it loud.
Yeah.
I was thinking turn it up because that's exactly what I did.
Well, it does say turn it up, turn it loud. So that is part of
Mhm.
the song for sure. Yeah.
Is that kind of your attitude when you perform? You know, take it a notch higher, kind of like in Spinal Tap, where they decide to take the volume to 11 instead of 10.
Yeah. Well, with the headpins, you just had to be on 10 or 11 all the time. That was what the music called for, and that's what I was able to do for 40. Well, hell, I'm still doing it. So 43 some odd years, being able to deliver um, just that kind of a powerful what can I say? It is what it is. It's belting. I'm not a singer with the headpins. I'm a belter. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, and that's one of the reasons why it's nice to be a solo artist now, because the new tunes that we're doing, although the original songs that I've been doing with this new project, they're harder to sing than the Headpin songs. They're far more demanding to sing than the Headpin songs. So I don't know what I was thinking when I originally recorded it. Probably that I was a lot younger and thinking, or wasn't thinking, that I'd be singing those songs 30 years later. But they're still great songs. I'm really happy to be able to be back performing them. And we got some new stuff, wonderful new single out in Europe called Trick of the Light. I'm a guest on an album, but it's probably the most favorite song, with the exception of, well, whatever. It's up there with my favorite songs that I've been able to deliver to the public. So really excited about that. Going to Vancouver in 2 days to start shooting some footage for a video for it. And you know, it's bands have to do everything for themselves. At least that's what I find, that what's happening with me right now is you have to be a engineer, a producer, a financier, and a host. Hi. But that's what the business is these days, right? You just have to be self-contained, and hopefully get a chance to work with some really good people. And I've been really lucky to have some really wonderful people go through the project in the 6 years we've been together. And this last group that's with me right now, I'm excited about working with them, and excited to see what we could bring forward now that COVID is over.
Oh, we're so hoping. Oh my goodness.
Isn't it?
I
Uh,
never caught COVID. I got my vaccines, but it's like, oh my. It's like, go away, COVID.
yeah, go away, COVID, for sure. I personally went through everything I had to so that I could work, even though in the 2 years that we basically didn't work, musicians and artists were the people out there so desperate to work when so many other people didn't want to work, and we're like, let us work.
I
It's just
worked through the
something,
whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, in your business, like, kudos to you for doing that. It takes all kind of people to make the world spin, and definitely your contribution there. Just cheers, bud. Cheers. Yeah.
So you say that song's called Trick of the Light.
Yeah.
I like that title. Now, where does that come from? Give me your story on that.
I didn't write the song. I was invited to sing on it. It's a compilation project from over in Europe. If you're familiar with a singer called Doro, she's a metal headbanger over in Europe. She's on it. And I mean, I should have the list here. All kinds of A-listers are performing on it. And A-list, there's a uh, guitar player from Whitesnake, Joel.
Mhm.
I can't remember his name, but he plays on it. Not necessarily my track, but on one or two of the tracks. So it's a compilation record on an album called The Garden, Circle of Friends, and it's out. I believe you can get it on a few download sites. I'm not sure exactly which one, but it's all done in Europe. I recorded it in a basement over here vocally and sent the tracks back over, and they send it back produced, and it's just so good. And we open our show with it. We're so excited, and so we're gonna see if we can put a little video together now. And uh, hasn't been a lot of work lately, so there's not a lot of money floating around, but it's important, I think, to step up, not just continue to ride on the same wave you've been riding on. My other concern is that radio in Canada, or probably pretty much in North America, is not um, a haven for 60-plus-year-old rockers trying to make anew. So it's a difficult it's a difficult run right now, but what the hell, it's so much fun when you get up on the stage and you got a new product or a new song, and you know you feel like you're doing something worthy of continuing, rather than riding on laurels, as some people would call it. So I'm really proud of what we're doing, and hope this new video or two turn out well. I'll be doing all the editing myself as well, so woo.
You know what? It's interesting because I mentioned I would have been 10 years old in 1982 when Turn It Loud came out. You know, that was right around the time when MTV started. And
Yeah.
now it's certainly different now, especially technology. I remember when I was in high school, we still had typewriters. So it's certainly different now. Talk about some of the some of them are pretty obvious, but in your experience, um, working on music now compared to working on music back when you did Turn It Up. Like some stuff must be easier, some stuff might even be more complicated. How was it for you?
That is such a loaded question. Music, every generation, I feel, deserves to have their own music, something that when they get to my age and older, they can look back on and go, that was our era, because it never stays the same. It just keeps going. Classic rock right now, some people are saying there's a resurgence,
Hmm.
eh, but live, it's such a chess game, yeah, you just gotta just keep putting a horse in the race, and hopefully somehow it gets tagged or it wins the race or whatever, right? Everybody deserves to have their own style of music, and I can't argue with whatever the kids or whoever's doing now. You go do your thing, let me do my thing, and the people that support your music, as long as you keep putting it out there and trying, will hopefully find you, and you'll have a happy little party with your fans.
So, what elements have remained the same, and what differences have you brought into to your new album coming up?
Oh, I don't have a new album coming up. I've got a new video coming out for that.
Oh, just a new video. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a new album. You know what? I really don't see the music industry as an album industry anymore.
You
I
know
don't.
what? I still get physical media.
Well, you're that 1%.
Yeah, I've never been somebody to download music and
Yeah,
whatever, I've never been
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Well, and musicians, especially musicians of my stature, we don't make a living off that. The trickle down theory is very, very tiny by the time it gets to someone of my stature in the industry. So, um, like I said, it's a chess game, and you just got to hope that one of your moves breaks you open. And like record companies, how many record companies do you know that are signing artists of my identity, of my worth, right? None. But I'm not giving up. It's you just keep trying, and again, hopefully something that you put out there on social media, because that's how you get seen, that's how you get noticed, that's how you make your presence known, um, that it could go viral. I think it's called, what is it? Bieber. Maybe I'll Bieber out.
yeah, but I prefer you over Justin Bieber.
You know what? I'm not judging. As a matter of fact, some of his stuff I really, really like. You know what? Again, every generation deserves to have music that they identify with. And I have two sons, all in well, mid to late 20s now, and they educated me into some of the music that I would never have listened to had it not been for them in my household. So I'm grateful for that. There's some stuff that I really like that I wouldn't if I didn't hear it 24/7 coming out of their bedroom. So you kind of get what's a great, it kind of oh, it just kind of eases you into understanding and getting a feel. And there's some artists in the rap world that I quite like. There's huge fan of Katy Perry. She's an absolute
I do
wing,
like Katy Perry.
but I really like Katy Perry, and some of her tunes are songs that I work out to 7 and 8 years later. 3, 4 times a week when I work out, there's like 4 Katy Perry tunes that I work out to.
I
Uh,
do like Katy. Yeah.
yeah, wonderful lyric content, and uh, of course, the best of the best musicians. Are they all players? Is it some of it programmed? Yeah, you know what? Get over it. If it's good, it's good, right? I mean, what if you could only like red? Everything had to be red. It's okay to have some blue and black, right? So, um, yeah,
Do you like Avril Lavigne? Because she's a Canadian
she
musician.
is.
Yep,
Yeah. You know what? I really liked her first CD. Got it from my oldest son, and we listened to that inside and out. Where she's gone lately and stuff. Unfortunately, I am not privy to what she's doing. And but yeah, Canadian girl doing well, good for her. Go out. eh, Life's shorter than you think, so go get it done. Get it done when you're young.
now, does your son see you as a cool rocker mom?
um I think they appreciate the trials and tribulations that you go through to be in a situation like their mom. you
Mhm.
know My husband's also in the industry. He's was a partner to some of the biggest West Coast entities in the music business years ago. Then he met me, and that just messed everything up for him, because most of those people were, it's either her or the business, because you can't have both. So he chose me. So he had to step back a lot. But since I've gone solo, he's back in my business, and handling my bookings, and whatever else comes down the pipeline. It's really cool to be working with my husband again. Is it all smooth? No, man, we have it out. It's just, that's, you know, but um we're an independent cottage industry, this household. I have 6 different businesses running in my house right now. And then again, that's how you make a living. That's how you keep your head above water.
I think it's awesome that he chose you.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I think that's awesome. You're a prize.
Fries.
You're
Yeah.
a prize.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Are your sons going in the same footsteps? Are they gonna be musicians? Or are they going another path?
they've gone on their own, uh,
Okay.
both put themselves through university, and both
hmm
are working in their fields that they went to university for. So everything's really good, except for the world, right? The poor
Um,
old world, which has a whole lot of straightening out to do, and just how far the pendulum's going to swing one way,
yes.
but swings back. Who's to say, right?
So what are you working on now? Like I know you get that single, but what's up in the future? Because I know you when we first connected, you needed like 40-ish hours of sleep, as you had mentioned, and I can relate to that because I did a double shift at the hospital, and yeah, I know what that does to your body.
Yeah, yeah. And COVID came along. The solo thing had happened in 2016, and at 2020 we had almost broken through a glass ceiling of when I left the Headpins. I had to sever a whole bunch of ties and connections, and those are things I'll probably never get back. So we had to start from the ground up again, um, building a team, having people that they're like, well, we can book the Headpins or we can book the singer of the songs. And of course, I lose in that situation, right? That's regardless of who's singing for them now, they are the Headpins.
Yeah, but
And
they won't have your voice, and I gotta say, your voice is an important part of that.
yeah, well, whether they think that or not, um, they're on their path now. I'm on mine. And again, starting anew. So uh, building a community again. 2020, it was happening. That glass ceiling, it was like I can see it. I'm going through it. And in March of 2020, everything shut down for 2 years, and then back to being in my 60s. Um, we had 4 years where we were just going, and everything was coming together, and then 2 years of sitting on your butt, right? At my age, that's detrimental. It's really hard to get the train, the old locomotive, up and going again
You look
when it's
great
been
for
dormant.
being in your 60s, I gotta say.
Well, thank you, but I am in my 60s. As good as I may look, my body
Well,
is
I love your hair.
okay. Thank
I
you.
love your hair. No, but going back, the voice is important. I can't listen to Turn It Up or Don't It Make You Feel. I can't listen to that sung by somebody else. Your voice is an important part of that.
Yeah, well, you
Like,
know what? Onward and onward. Yeah, it's yeah, next.
do you have a favorite song you did with Headpins on, especially on that first album?
um I wrote the lyrics for Winning. I can't remember if that's on the first or the second album.
That's on Turn It Loud. Yeah.
Turn It Loud. Yeah, that that song. I used to tell on the road how it was written about um veterans and the men and women in the army going over to war. We're lucky to be living in Canada. Don't we know we're winning? But in all actuality, I wrote the lyrics to that song sitting in the studio in front of the microphone at Little Mountain with Bill Henderson, Brian McLeod sitting at the table, and David Hayes, Pat Glover, looking at me going, it's your opportunity to write some lyrics. And so they just kind of came out, they just kind of spewed out, for lack of a better term. But hard describing how I was feeling at that very moment. Scared shitless that this was my opportunity to actually show that I could write lyrics, and knowing that if I didn't do it, what would happen? Would I lose my job? It was a scary time. So those lyrics were all about what I was experiencing at that particular time. This is the first time I've ever told that publicly, actually, but I figure it's time now that people understood that I was 21. I was 21 and joined the band. A record company came in right after and said, sign her. They signed me, and the pressure was on. And that's what came out of that, my 21st year.
You knocked it out of the park. And
Well,
like I said, I love Turn It Loud. I love Don't It Make You Feel. That was on the Electric North album. And I love the video of it too, where you guys are working in the kitchen, and you have all the board members up and jumping
yeah,
around. Was that fun video to shoot?
it was, because that was our first real video. Doug from Doug and the Slugs, Doug Bennett, was the
Mm-hmm.
producer and director for that. So it was tons of fun. We were up for like 48 hours straight. Uh, it was crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy time. Absolutely. I've posted pictures of sitting in a chair, absolutely just burnt at
Yep.
the end of that 48 hours. It's like, oh God, take me home. But yeah, pretty crazy days, crazy video, stupid, not enough money, no budget. It was definitely not a Michael Jackson video, but hey, yeah, I'm going in to shoot a video now with the 100th of what that video costs. So times have changed, but we'll see what this budget can pull out for me for a new video.
What do you have? What ideas are you bringing to this new video that you could share?
Pardon me, which am I bringing?
Yeah, what ideas are you bringing to it?
Oh, I have a very limited ability with Adobe Premiere,
Mm.
and a little less limited ability with Photoshop, and no experience with filming cameras. So I am not putting anything out there right now. This is a total 100% crapshoot, even though I have done uh, 2, 3 videos since leaving the Pins,
Hmm.
working with the new project, going, you have to be present. You have to let people see that you're working on something. You're not, yeah, that you're working on something. And so whenever we've got downtime, and there's been a lot, I keep myself busy either with my jewelry company that I've got, or writing songs, or trying to do videos. And when you're a 1 or 2 or 3 man team, you know, sometimes it takes a while, but I'm learning. I'm learning. It's crazy.
Jewelry could be something too you could use for costuming too when you perform.
Oh, I'm up at over 600 pieces sold now. I'm loving my jewelry business. Yeah, it's such a creative outlet. And also when we couldn't work when I couldn't work as a musician or a singer, it took a lot of the frustration out. You know, a little glass of wine or a big glass of wine, or whatever else crossed the table, and sit down and just let the let the universe guide my hands into making pieces of jewelry that people seem to like. So I'm very grateful for that experience to be hitting me at this time in life where I do have some spare time to be creative in a different way.
Well, you strike me as somebody that's still got a lot of songs left in you. What inspires you in terms of writing a song? Like you mentioned winning being about um uh people
Challenge
come,
that.
yeah. So what are you writing about now? What's passionate with you in terms of writing a song?
You know what? I don't write a lot
Mhm.
because oh, did I lose you? Are you still
Nope,
there?
nope, I'm
Okay.
here.
Somebody just sent a message, so it covered the screen. I'm not a uh, how do I put it? A fluent writer. Writing takes a lot out of me. I have the song, one of the songs, because we're going to do Trick of the Light, and this new song, which is 100% original, um, written with myself and a gentleman called Gary Borden, and we've got some really, really great talent playing on this from here, there.
Do you
Excuse me.
talk about that song?
Um, I don't yet.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
okay.
yet, but it is what I'm thinking about right now, this next song. So hopefully within the next couple months, this video editing, and I still have to finish some of the vocals on the track. So there's a lot that still has to be done and whatever. And there's no rush to put it out, right? Because as I was mentioning early, without support, and you were saying MTV is not music TV anymore, right?
No,
It's totally different. There's nowhere to show your wares anymore. And again, being someone of my age, they want the young women. They don't want the old broads out on whatever program they're running, right?
you
So
know what? It's surprisingly because I've had Tony Basil on here, and she's still doing her thing, still dancing, and she's in her 70s, you know. And for me, it's about the talent, you know. Like even though I grew up with Turn It Loud, I reached out to you because that voice, your voice is very distinctive, you know, and I bet you still got that when you perform. I bet you can still belt these tunes out.
well, you are going to have to get on the website or get on Facebook and see, because there's all kinds of videos out there from this summer. I'm still
I
doing it.
have.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
s- I'm
well,
I'm, I'm just keying in everybody else.
okay. Okay. Well,
I've been watching what you
yeah.
were doing. I didn't go into this blindly.
Okay. Well, I'm still doing whatever it is I can do. I have another project that I put together during COVID. As a matter of fact, it was in the fall of 2019. In September of 2019, we'd finished for the DMP, the Darby Mills project, had finished all our dates for the year. And we were coming into Christmas, or coming into fall. And I have a very dear friend that lives here in Vernon now, where I live. And he played in my solo project back 30 some odd years ago for a very short period of time. And I was like, Dennis, if we put something together, would you be part? And he's like, yeah, I'm interested. He went out and found a drummer, and I found a guitar player, and we put this project together that's it's all cover songs,
Hmm.
but it's from late 50s, 60s, and 70s. So it's all covers, but it's songs that you would never expect the singer from the Headpins to be singing. It's very, very different, but they're songs from when I was 10 years old, and that my brothers and sisters were listening to, and were very much the core of my understanding of music in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And it's so much fun. These players are all very, very technical. And yeah, it's such a fun project to be doing. We've worked again, started in September of 19, and by March of 2020, everything shut down. So all we did with this project was rehearse whenever we could, which is we'd get 2 rehearsals in 2 weeks, and then there'd be 2 months of you can't see each other because of lockdowns. So it was this long, drawn out trying to get a band stage ready. Well, we finally did, and we've done 5 or 6 shows this year. It's so much fun. I'm just loving it. That's where my retirement is going to be, because it's not songs at the top of my lungs. I'm singing in octaves two below where I normally would. It's been so invigorating and fulfilling to be able to have both sides of the coin. So I'm preparing for retirement. And as a musician, there's no such thing as pension. So that's why your dancer, the lady you mentioned, that's why she's still dancing, because she's got no pension. I'm pretty sure. I don't. So I'll be working until I can't anymore. So trying to be wise and trying to do the right thing, and trying to scratch both sides at once. And who's to say what? Doing our best.
You're one of these rare guests I have on here that actually knows where New Brunswick, Canada is. Of course, I'm not surprised because you live in Vancouver, but talk about your experience coming here.
It's been a very long time, a very, very long time, and I can't actually remember exactly when that. I know I've been to Halifax over the past 35 years. I know I've been to Fredericton, but I can't say I've made it back to your home. Uh, you know, it's a whirlwind. You get on a plane at 6 in the morning, you get there at 7 at night, you drive in the dark to your hotel, you wake up in the morning, you try and eat, you go to sound check, you do your show, you go to bed, you wake up at 6 in the morning to grab your plane to get home or to the next gig. So you don't get a lot of time unless you take time off there to actually go out and experience the land and the culture. And I'm hoping that there's some time in the future that I can rectify that. But I know
Mhm.
there's some just gorgeous, gorgeous land out your way. Just, I hope to be back one day soon.
Where is your like in all your years, do you have a favorite place you've ever performed?
Oh, oh my goodness. Um, there's so many. I couldn't name one. There's just too many. I've been blessed. There's been some shitty times too, like just down and dirty shitty. But I've been blessed with some wonderful times in Hammersmith Odeon, knowing that I made it in there. That's kind of like Vancouver's Commodore, if you will. Although I've played the Commodore 6, 7 times, I think, in my time in the industry. Um, Going on tour with Whitesnake, going on tour with Kiss. Uh, I've opened up for many bands, and just I'm blessed. If I had to leave tomorrow, I should be happy with what has come my way. Hopefully I'm not leaving tomorrow, but I've had some good runs for sure.
We lost Gord Lewis of Teenage Head recently, and
Yeah.
I had him on here 5 years ago. I love Teenage Head, and did you ever perform with them?
I don't think I did.
No.
In the early days when the Headpins first came out of the bars, we'd been in the bars for about a year,
Hmm.
and Chilliwack.
They were on Electric North.
Yeah, yeah, probably. Well,
Yeah.
now see, the Headpins came from Chilliwack.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know. I read up on that, but they had a tune on there, and you had a tune on there as well. So that was, to me, my favorite compilation album. I get a lot of memories from that album, and it was all Canadian.
yeah. Funny, I
Yeah,
didn't even know we were on there. I think
yeah,
they owe money now.
yeah. It was don't it make you feel was on there, and Chilliwack's was
Probably
what you gonna
goes on.
do? No, it
Oh,
was
what
what
did
you
you
gonna do? Yeah. Oh, they had a lot of great stuff on there, and I normally don't remember compilation albums, but that one I do. That one I do, and too bad I can't get it anymore, because I actually got some LPs here. I went to one of those Comic Cons or something, and I found some LPs, and I remember what it was like when you used to buy a record. It was an experience. Today, a lot of people don't have that experience. I've heard Howard Stern describe that as well, and it's like I
I
said,
mean, it was an exercise. You had to get on your bike or get in your car, drive to a music store, and then you had it in your hand. You had the music there. CDs came along. It was kind of the same, but um, it was an experience, and it was a chore, a good chore, because you had to go through all these things to get what it was you were looking for or find something anew. These days, that experience is just download it. There's no connection, there's no holding, there's no, so like everything else, it's here and gone so very fast. So again, grateful that I came up in an era where you got to experience those things. You can't go back. It's not going to go back. The world is not going to rewind in that manner. So I've just put it down to, I'm just really glad that I got that experience. And you newbies, you don't get it. Sorry, it's ours.
I remember. I remember. Now behind you, I love your background there. There's some of your instruments.
This is one of my workspaces. Yeah. Yeah. There, I get more graphics done here than I do music, unfortunately, but
Okay.
again, it's all what you have time for, and quite honestly, just mass producing music to me makes no sense. I'd rather make some jewelry and spend a lot of time doing a really good tune. And as I said earlier, I don't think albums are albums anymore. I think people release singles, and if in the world of the Beyoncés and whatever, you can release a single, another single, another single, and then within 6 or 7 months of all these singles, you release the album, and you get more sales. It's a different whatever. So doing an album is not in my future. I don't think. I think that I'll just continue to do one song at a time, one video at a time, and right back to we've come full circle. It's back to now, where do you put your product? How do you get it out? The record companies, it's a different game these days, and record companies aren't the gods anymore. It's the downloads sites that are the gods, and they're not giving up any money anytime soon. So you know, it's
Do you,
crazy.
do you I want you to plug your website on here because that's where I initially found you.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Is it darbymills.com? Pretty easy. And there's all kinds of stuff on there. And there's the video that we shot last year, or we didn't shoot it actually. I learned how to do some graphics, and I put a graphic video together. About 200 hours sitting on my kitchen table, pulling out hair, trying to learn the Adobe Premiere program on the fly. So, but it came out pretty good. I'm kind of happy with it. And again, back to you got to play all the cards. You have to hold all the cards, or you have to be able to work all the cards in this day and age. If you're an unsigned, or as I am, an independent artist, it's all on you. It's all on your table. You got to handle it all, and keeps you learning, keeps you on your toes with certain things, that's for sure.
And that's where people, especially people that are into getting jewelry, that's where they can get ordered jewelry from you.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
called Phantom Designs. There's a whole page dedicated to the sales. There's nothing for sale on it right now, I don't think, anyway. Um, I've been doing this 7 years now, I do believe, and it's got down to that I'll do like 15 pieces,
Hmm.
because I also have to shoot them, and then I have to edit them, and then I have to put them on the computer, and then I have to edit them again, and then I have to dump them onto the website, and then I have to edit them again, and then I have to know how to post it on the website. And I've just finished putting together a brand new website. That was like 3 months worth of work. It's endless what you have to do to stay on top of things, right? But so now I do a line of about 15 pieces, 2, 3, if I'm lucky, 4 times a year. Or if I have no work singing, I get more time to make pieces. So I do a line, I call it. I put out a line, they sell, and then the next time I have some time off, I put together another 15 pieces. So it's kind of a when they go up, I'm so very blessed. Usually 10 to 12 of those pieces are gone within 48 hours. And it's like, yay, that's good news for
Do you have
sure.
a favorite piece that you've ever done?
Oh my goodness. They're all my favorite piece. I
Okay.
Yeah, I just sit down at the table, and I just look down at the materials and go, hands work. And things just happen. It's it's a wonderful process when you can, if you're a creative soul anyway, which I've come to understand, I'm very much creative soul. I have to be creating all the time something, or I feel stagnated, right?
Hmm.
So the every piece, I don't put it out until I think I would wear this, and then it's done. And then 15 hours later, it's posted after 15 hours of more work. But I'm not complaining. I love the process that it has become, and uh, definitely been a nice little side job while I can't sing and can't make money singing. So
And
yeah,
people can order autograph items off the website as well, right?
there we're at the end of the season, so there was a bunch of shirts on there. I got actually, thanks for reminding me. I got to go on and update my stock. We just finished 8 some odd shows this summer, so all the stock that I did have pretty much has sold. So now it's time to reboot and get ready for next year. So there'll be new stock coming out as soon as I can get to it. But there's a few things on there. There's the CDs. There's both a live CD and the Flying Solo CD, and whatever's left on there. I don't know. More work
Yeah,
I have.
because I would love to get something signed by you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We have posters, but you know what? By the time a little bit of economics here. By the time you get the picture and you get it printed and you get it home and you get it rolled in plastic and then put it in a cardboard box to mail, um, you could be paying upwards of $35 for something I would sell at a concert for 5.
Hmm.
So it's just, yeah, I don't have a lot of paper stuff on there because it just costs so much. It costs so much to send. It's crazy. And mail has gone up. Used to be like $6, $7 to mail a shirt. It's now up. It can be up to $12 to mail a shirt. So if you,
Wow.
right, so it's like I'm not making any money if you're trying to keep them priced uh, decently so that you're not gouging someone. And then again, you're not gouging them.
Hmm.
BC Post or the Postal Service is gouging them, but then it comes down to the gas and whatever. Yeah, whatever. Economics. Bleh.
You mentioned earlier that you had about 6 businesses. Um, and I'm hoping I'm not prying here, but I'm wondering, besides the jewelry, what other avenues are you into that you explore that passions that you're exploring?
Well, the merchandise, the website. That's
Oh, okay.
the website. The website's a business.
Okay.
The jewelry is
Mm-hmm.
a hands-on business.
Mm-hmm.
Do some recording. That's
Mm-hmm.
another business. This room that you're sitting in, last year, because there was nothing else I could do, I spent a small fortune upgrading all my gear. So that's a business that I have to pay back, right? And then my husband's my manager, so that's another business. And he's a pretty much full-time golfer, and he helps to work at a wonderful golf course, the Vernon Golf Course here in Vernon. So that's going on. So we have more golf clubs and golf bags in our basement office than anyone needs.
Do you
But we,
golf?
I do, I do. Golf.
I
Yeah.
just watched Caddyshack. That's
Oh,
most.
yeah. Yeah. It can start that way for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been another wonderful escape in this time. The only thing that you could do for the better part of those 2 years physically is go and walk or go and play golf at a golf course. So I'm very blessed to have spent a lot of time at the Vernon Golf Course and the Hillview Golf Course, which is where the documentary has some footage. I shot a documentary in 2016, mini documentary. It's on TELUS TV. Um, but they followed they followed 2 cameras followed us, me and my 12 crazy women girlfriends golfers around the golf course to get some footage, and that was at Hillview here in town. I'll give them a shout out. So Yes, thank goodness for golf.
And you won the championship, right? Right?
No, but my husband, in his age category,
Mm-hmm.
according to his scores that you put in your computer and send it to Golf Canada, he was in the top 5, I do believe, of senior golfers in Canada.
That's
So
awesome.
he's a golfer. He's a golfer. That was last year or the year before that. I can't remember if it was 20 or 2021. I think it was anyway. So he wears that badge very proudly as a coming up on 70-year-old man. How much time do we have left?
He's
Right?
got great taste in women.
Peace out.
Listen, do you have any charities that do you want to plug on here?
Um, hmm. You know what I have I've done my best in contributing to a whole lot of charities in the
Mm-hmm.
past 7, 8 years, especially since going solo. I've sent a lot of stuff out to charities. Um, and of course, the last couple of years, it's died down a lot. Something else that another business, if you will. I also remake clothing and
Oh,
make some of my
nice.
stage clothes and stuff like that. And so I figured for the 2020 Break the Glass Ceiling tour, I was going to take out a piece of clothing that I had revamped and made funky, rocky, or whatever. And every night at a show, we would have a raffle. And so the money wasn't going up for the piece, but everybody could buy I think all you could ask for is a $2 ticket anymore. The government gets involved, or maybe they get involved at a $2 ticket, but
Mm,
it never did come together because COVID happened and I
yeah.
couldn't get those. But I was going to auction or raffle them off at every show. One jacket, most of them are jackets, and have the winning ticket decide what charity that the funds from the raffle would go to.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I was going to try to give back, and the universe had a different plan. So right now, I don't know if people would be interested in doing a raffle for clothes, secondhand clothes, because they're all revamped and just funky stuff I've found or worn over the years, and just tried to remake it and just do the recycle stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And plus be a good human being in the meantime by donating that money. So we'll have to see when the world gets a little bit closer to resembling the old normal. If it ever does, maybe I'll go back there. In the meantime, I'm just going to start wearing those clothes on stage. What the hell?
Why
it's
not?
there. Yeah. So, and that's the other business, that a couple sewing machines down here too. So every 10 feet, there's a new station of get to work, woman.
I always ask my guests about if they have charities to promote and plug, um, but anyway, one last thing I wanted to ask. I don't know if you ever get to do the conventions, where you get to sign pictures and sign stuff for people, like the Comic Cons and stuff. But one thing I do want to ask is, what's the most unique thing you've ever been asked to sign?
I don't know if it's so much unique. What the result was unique. I signed a man's chest and he had it tattooed. Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I hear that a lot.
Please. I'm like, oh my God.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
I have no tattoos. I'm just, I don't know. Some people say it's painful. Some people say it isn't. There you go. Oh, that's a
Let,
nice one.
no, it's just okay, but it's my reminder. It's called letting go, or it says letting go with a couple treble clefs in there. It's you know what? Life's too short. You gotta let it go and move on, or you go crazy. You go crazy. So I had that tattooed on my arm to remind me, you gotta let it go.
Well, you know what? You're don't ever down yourself over your age or anything like that, you know. I am so honored to have had you on here today, you know. You bring back a lot of memories for me. And boy, do I remember your voice, you know, and I remember it fondly. I think you're a true treasure in the music industry. And I do hope that to one day see you in concert. I
If
would
it was,
love to.
if it wasn't $8,000 to get my guys out there this summer, $8,000 to fly for one
Wow.
show, you know, yeah, maybe when the world settles down a little bit more, I'd love to come back out there. Like I said, I'd love to come out, do a show, and spend a couple days just to experience the East Coast again, because it's always been such a blur when we were out there. So, yeah,
I live
wasn't
here and it's a blur.
right. And I don't live in Vancouver because it's way too much of a blur down there. I live in a small town in the middle of British Columbia,
Hmm.
and I raised my two sons here with my husband, and now we're almost empty nesters, and yeah, life is short. Got to
Hmm.
smile, put on a happy face, and just get on with it. Peace out.
You know what? Before I let you go, would you mind doing a plug for my show?
Oh God. Uh, what? I don't have a pen and paper. What is the name again?
My show's called Python's Paradise, and my name is Greg Gilbert. Just state your name and say you're listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise.
You are listening to Greg Gilbert on Python's Paradise. Woo!
Yeah, but you forgot to state your name.
Oh, you can say it.
We are here, folks, with the lovely Darby Mills, and she has got a voice to die for. I remember it, and you will too. Give it a listen, and we look forward to your new
Single.
projects as well, and your new single. Yes,
DarbyMills.com. Go check it out. Woo!
absolutely. God bless you. Thank you so much for allowing me the honor.
Oh, my pleasure. You take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yep.